Greetings, everyone. Just a little update from my family and I. Thank you so much for all your well wishes. We are currently on the island of Ithaca in Greece, and I'm on my family home, my mother's home here amidst the olive orchard. And the backdrop there is, of course, Aphalis Bay and the Ionian Sea. Truly magical place. I'll take you for a little stroll here as I just give you a little update. As many of you know, I was very much taken by Bali on my last visit there in February. Of course, it's a wonderfully beautiful island, but of more significance was the people that I met, and in particular Chokade Kurtiasa and his sister Maya Kurtiasa. Wisdom keepers, I would call them, each in their own respective ways, of the indigenous artisan and philosophical underpinning of Bali. Spiritual people through and through. They struck every chord in my being. I came home after that trip and asked Emily if we could pack our bags. So we have indeed sold our house. All our possessions are sold. We've packed one bag each. We've let the kids finish their last class and celebrated all their accomplishments, and we have, in a way, left the United States and have set sail. And we have made our midway point here, the island of Ithaca, of course, where Homer may or may not have actually written the Odyssey. We are on our Odyssey. It's very fitting because I'm currently writing my book, Return with the Elixir, which is a handbook, if you will, of rebirth, a class I had the pleasure of teaching in the contemplative studies program almost a year ago when the pandemic struck. Has really been a manual for me, a test case scenario of how to let go of one life and find something anew. And so, that adventure is not an easy one. That is something that takes tremendous courage. It is one that involves a lot of grief and letting go. Emily and I have been spending the last week here on the island processing all kinds of feelings. It was a very difficult extraction. It's not easy to sell your home and all your possessions and truly embark on something in which there is no certainty, and the level of the unknown is maybe a little more than you can handle, but that is the hallmark of the hero's journey. And so we are at least have crossed the threshold, as you might take or understand, the threshold being that first step outside of your comfort zone. So leaving home and everything that we have built together over the last 25 years and all the familiar creature comforts of our family life are now done. We are in the bardo, as they say, the between. We have another 10 days or so here on the island amidst the olive orchard here with my family to just, sort of recharge the battery and get a little sun-soaked and a little sun-kissed. It's not quite clear where we're heading in terms of what we'll be doing and what's going on, but I do want to say that the outpouring of support and well wishes was truly remarkable. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. In Bali, I will be, very much keen to reconnect with my friends there who impressed me so much on my trip in February. Speaking specifically of the wisdom keepers, Chokade and Maya Kurtiasa, true friends. They definitely struck the hero's chord in my heart. I don't think Bali would be a destination to move my family and make this heroic step if it were not for them. The rice fields are beautiful, but they're not that beautiful. And so we share a vision and a common language to restart anew. I think they're thinking about a restart. We're thinking about a restart, and what better place to do it in a magical island set amidst mythological landmarks and truly a mythos, a perspective that I think really aligns with where I'd like to rebuild and raise my boys. So with that, I just want to thank some of people in particular. Sorry for the long message, but I've been out of touch and I don't know when the next time I'll get a video out is. So let me just thank a few people. I want to first of all thank my team at the CSP, Allison and Coco, for delivering the Wisdom Keeper podcast, which is going quite well. I'm learning a lot. I hope you're engaged with the Wisdom Keeper podcast. I've invited certainly some really stellar guest speakers, and it's going as planned, as intended. It follows the trajectory of my book. So when I hit a series of questions for my book, which is on the esoteric traditions, I simply just find a good expert to consult with, and suddenly get a 2-for-1 with the podcast and the book. I want to also thank all the members of the courtyard at CSP who are still remained. We did a nice long run there in the CSP with the Contemplative Studies program immersion of 2 years during COVID, then the follow-up 1-year Lamrim meditation course, which I think went really well. And we have now sort of taken a little bit of a pause with our courtyard meetings, and that will give us some time to clear the mandala. The particles of sand are swept away right now, and that will mean that a few seeds are in the ground. We don't know exactly when they will come to full fruition, but they're definitely there. And I want to just thank, all the members of the Contemplative Studies program who have continued to support us and to continue to meet, particularly Mindy, who's still offering a study group for Geshe Tenzin Zopa's Lojong course, and some new people that have come on board and have formed what I now am very excited about and very happy to announce the formation of the Contemplative Studies program non-profit, which is going to really enable us to serve communities in the future and to develop our programming. So there have now, through the leadership of Karen and Erica and Kim Andrews, they have formed an executive board committee, and we have some stellar auxiliary board members, and we have some keen and well-known advisory board members, including, of course, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, our Heart Lama, and Lama Tashi Manox has come on as an advisory board member. So I'm very, very honored to have that group of people serving as the team for the future. People who I know have been through and through very committed to the to Contemplative Studies ethos and will push the project forward. And I think it's fair to say this will no longer be a one-man show. I really did a heavy lift for 3 years there teaching. I did some of my best teaching post-departure from Nalanda. It was a time of tremendous growth for me. I think we have all that footage of those lectures documented, nearly 160 hours of very high quality lectures on Tibetan Buddhism, the Lamrim, the Gradual Path, supplemented by the Hero's Journey and Trauma and some other studies. But now it's time to create a broader international community. I think our friends in Bali will certainly help us, inspire us to think about new vistas and new content, but also the members of the community stepping forward to steer the service project. I want to thank Deb Agan, of course, who really was a true leader, a remarkable woman, helped us with our service project, raising over $17,000 for the nuns of Rachen Nunnery, and all the other members and donors. Thank you so much. It's been an incredible thing to see all that money come together. Geshe Tenzin Zopa's vision of planting 500 trees and building a water tank and some restrooms for the elderly monks, I think, at one time was a beautiful thought, and now it's really come to full fruition. We can see these amazing photographs of the helicopters landing up there at Sum Valley at high altitude, dropping off the deliverables, and they are well underway. And so I want to thank also my team for the pilgrimage, putting together the pilgrimage, which we are a green light, of course. We have a full capacity. Maybe one spot is in question. 30 of us will be going on pilgrimage from Nepal to India to the holy sites in October, led by Geshe Tenzin Zopa and myself, which is, very remarkable and auspicious time to be coming out of COVID and making our way to the holy sites in an unbroken stream since the Buddha's time. And that pilgrimage will be sort of capped at the beginning by a wonderful 4 nights at in the Sum Valley at Geshe Tenzin Zopa's home nunnery, the Rachen Nunnery, where we'll break ground and do some ceremonies and visit Geshe Lama Kanchog's cave. That's the lineage that Geshe Tenzin Zopa comes from, so that's a very exciting thing. On top of that, there is, of course, the documentary film being shot by my dear friend Phil O'Leary and his team. His team is a crackerjack team of very experienced filmmakers, documentarians, and so we're thrilled and delighted and honored that they will join us for this epic pilgrimage to document the footage of Geshe Tenzin Zopa leading us through the symbolic dark night of the soul of the pandemic and to the holy places to receive the Bodhisattva vow at the seat of enlightenment, the Diamond Throne in Bodh Gaya. So all in all, there is a book in the works. Return with Elixir is going very well. I have a team there too with Alice and Colonel Chris Biggs leading the way, helping me edit the lectures from Return with Elixir. We have the pilgrimage in October to Nepal and India. We have the service project and the apple orchard up at Sum Valley. We have the formation of the nonprofit status, which I think will completely elevate our game as a community and allow us to do so many new things. And we have another pilgrimage in the works now to invite all of you next year in September, early September, to the mystical islands of Indonesia, which will be now my home. Come home to Java and the magnificent Borobudur monument, the largest, most epic mandala and Buddhist temple on the planet. And then you'll be delighted to join me and Chokerde Kirtiasa and Maya Kirtiasa as they reveal the real Bali for you on pilgrimage through Bali. That'll be a 2-week adventure, September 2023. So we have a documentary, we have a book, we have 2 pilgrimages, and we have multiple service project initiatives and the formation of a nonprofit. I think all in all, the seeds are in the ground. I am in transition. I'd like to just thank you all for your attention and for your generous well wishes of my journey and my family's journey. I want to thank Emily, of course, someone who through and through has been so supportive of all the things that we've done together. Emily's a beautiful soul, very courageous woman. She's the backbone of everything I do. And, you know, when I said, Emily, let's go to Bali, she said, let me think about it. But within a month, she was like, okay, let's go. So we're not abandoning the United States in its dark night of the soul and its, its Pluto return. The United States is going to go through a very rough patch. We're not abandoning any of you by any means. We are simply relocating to find a source of inspiration so that we can emit a signal through the noise, a beacon of light through the darkness. And CSP will re-emerge anew. And we hope to bring you all into the energy, the magnetism, and so that you too can follow the magic. So I just wanted to give you a few of my thoughts about the departure, the bardo, and the rebirth here from the magical, sun-kissed, sun-soaked shores of the island of Ithaca in my mom's magnificent olive orchard. All the very best to you until I'm able to find another little spot to give you an update. I wish you all well. Can't wait to connect with you and share more with you. Until soon, all best wishes.